Story: The House on the Hill. A young girl named Emily has just moved to a small town on the outskirts of Vermont. She got a job as a teacher at the local school and rented an old house on top of a hill surrounded by dense forest. The house was unusually cheap, and the landlord avoided detailed questions about the house's history, answering evasively, "This house is just waiting for someone like you." Things went well for the first few days. Emily was settling in, enjoying the fresh air and quiet. One night, however, she heard a strange whispering sound that seemed to be coming from the wall of her bedroom. She thought it was the wind or the old house creaking, but the sound kept repeating. The next day, Emily decided to look around the house more closely. She discovered a door to the basement that she hadn't noticed before. The door was locked with an old rusty lock. Curiosity got the best of her, so Emily went to the hardware store to buy some lock cutters. Once down in the basement, she found an old wooden chest. Inside were children's toys, yellowed photographs, and shabby books. One of the pictures showed a family, a man, a woman, and a girl, who looked strangely like Emily herself. Underneath the photo was an inscription: Anne. Ayrıtı ayrıtı rende. Emily felt a slight chill and decided to close the trunk, but she heard children's laughter behind her. Turning around, she saw no one, but noticed that one of the toys, a small doll, was now lying on the floor, although a moment ago it had been in the chest. During the night, the whispering intensified, and the sound of footsteps added to it. Emily tried to fall asleep, but at 3 a.m., she awoke to the sound of a baby crying. Following the sound, she went down to the living room, where she found the very same doll sitting in a chair. The doll turned its head, and a thin voice said, "Why are you back, Mommy?" Emily screamed and ran upstairs, locking her bedroom door. She spent the rest of the night shivering under the covers, waiting for dawn. The next day, she contacted a local historian who told her a creepy story. In the early 1900s, a family lived in the house. A girl named Anne had gone missing and was never found. The girl's mother claimed to hear her whispers and see toys that moved on their own. The woman went crazy and eventually disappeared. The girl's spirit was said to remain in the house, awaiting the mother's return. The historian was surprised to learn that Emily looked like the missing girl's twin from the photos. Upon returning home, Emily decided she couldn't stay here much longer. She started to pack her things, but in the mirror she saw a little girl standing behind her, holding the very same doll. The little girl whispered, "You promised not to leave me, Mommy." Emily, distraught with fear, ran out of the house and never looked back. She later learned that the house had burned to the ground that same night. No one was ever able to explain the cause of the fire. Emily moved to another town, but sometimes, at night, she still hears that same whisper. "Why did you leave, Mom?"